3 hidden energy boosts that rapidly raise your vibration. Have you ever felt like something immense, something almost supernatural, is sleeping inside you, just waiting for the right call to awaken? If you're listening to this, you're not here by accident. We are all drawn to messages our soul recognizes before our mind understands. And today I'm going to share with you something most people live their entire lives without ever discovering: 3 hidden energy boosts that can raise your vibration so rapidly you'll feel like you're being reborn. But before we get there, let me take you on a journey. I remember standing at the edge of a cliff in a forgotten part of the world, where the wind carried the whispers of monks who had meditated there centuries ago. I was filming a challenge, a 7-day vow of silence, with nothing but water and the sound of nature as my companions. But what I didn't expect was that by day 3, something inside me began to shift. It wasn't just silence, it was a frequency, a hum, a vibration that started from deep within and began to rise. My body, my thoughts, my emotions, they all became lighter, almost electric. I was tapping into something ancient, something real, something we've all forgotten.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
And that's what I want us to rediscover together. You see, most people think energy is about caffeine, exercise, or motivation. But those are surface-level sparks. What I'm talking about are the core energy boosters that come from your spiritual body, your unseen layers, your subtle forces, your soul's frequency. When you unlock these, you don't just have more energy, you become a magnet for miracles, synchronicities, and inner peace. Your entire reality begins to reshape itself around your vibration. So let me ask you this. What if the reason you feel tired all the time isn't because you're physically exhausted, but because your soul is undernourished? Let that sink in. The first hidden energy boost is something I call sacred stillness. It's not just sitting quietly. It's the art of intentional energetic silence. In the modern world, we are bombarded with noise, not just from the outside, but from within. Thoughts, fears, to-do lists, regrets. The mind is loud. And the soul speaks in whispers. You cannot hear a whisper in a storm. Sacred stillness is the act of creating a sacred space, internally and externally, where the noise settles and the soul can speak. I discovered this when I was filming a challenge where I had to survive in a cave for 72 hours alone. No phone, no light, no sounds except the occasional dripping water echoing in the dark. At first my mind screamed. I felt panic, restlessness, even fear. But as the hours passed, something magical happened. My thoughts slowed. My emotions softened. And then I heard a voice that wasn't mine but somehow was. A knowing, a calm certainty. It told me exactly what I needed to do next in life. And it was right. And you can tap into this energy anytime. All it takes is presence. Start with 10 minutes a day. Sit, breathe. Don't try to meditate. Just be. The silence will teach you. You'll begin to notice your body vibrating slightly, your fingers tingling, your breath slowing. That's your frequency rising. You'll realize you've been running on a low vibration simply because you've been disconnected from your own source. Here's the second hidden energy boost: elemental alignment. This is not some new age fluff. This is ancient science. Your body, your energy field, your aura, they are all influenced by the elements earth, water, fire, air, and ether. When one of these elements becomes imbalanced in your life, your energy suffers. You feel drained, anxious, foggy. But when you realign with the elements, your vibration skyrockets. Let me give you an example. If you're constantly anxious or overthinking, you likely have too much air energy. You're stuck in the mind, floating. The remedy? Ground with earth, Walk barefoot on the grass. Sit under a tree. Touch soil. Eat root vegetables. Your body will recalibrate. If you're feeling stuck or unmotivated, you're lacking fire. Try breath of fire pranayama or literally stare at a flame in silence. Watch how the fire dances. Your internal fire will begin to mirror it. Your drive, your clarity, they'll return. When I filmed a 5-day water fast next to a sacred river, I realized how powerful water energy is. It teaches flow, surrender, cleansing. If you want to raise your vibration, immerse yourself in natural water. Swim in the ocean. Sit by a waterfall. Even taking a mindful shower can become a spiritual practice if you do it with presence. And then there's either the space element, the most mysterious of all. It's activated when you engage with the unknown, when you let go of control, when you step into mystery. This is why people feel awe when they look at the stars or visit ancient temples. Ether is the spiritual download channel. If you've ever had a sudden stroke of insight out of nowhere, that was Ether speaking. Ask yourself right now, which element are you most disconnected from? What would happen if you spent the next 7 days reconnecting with it daily, even for 5 minutes? The third hidden energy boost is the most powerful and the most overlooked: energetic integrity. This isn't about morals. It's about alignment. When you say one thing but feel another, when you smile but secretly resent, when you commit but don't follow through, you create energetic leaks. You may not see them, but your soul feels them. Those leaks drain your vibration faster than anything. I had to learn this the hard way. I once promised a group of people I'd show up for a spiritual retreat I was hosting, but deep down, I didn't want to go. I was burnt out. I needed rest. But I forced it, and when I arrived, nothing flowed. The energy was off. People got sick. Tech failed. It was chaos, because I was out of integrity. I was betraying my truth. And the universe mirrored that back to me. Energetic integrity means your thoughts, words, and actions are aligned. It means you don't say yes to things your soul says no to. It means you don't fake emotions to please others. It means you live in truth, even when it's uncomfortable. And when you do, oh my God, the energy that is freed up. Your body feels lighter. Your decisions become clear. Your manifestations become instant. So let me ask you another deep question. Where in your life are you leaking energy by living out of alignment with your truth? Your energy is your most sacred currency. It's not just about feeling good. It's about becoming a vessel strong enough to hold miracles, insights, and divine guidance. These 3 hidden energy boosts, sacred stillness, elemental alignment, and energetic integrity, are not techniques. They are remembrances. You're not learning something new. You're remembering who you were before the world told you to forget. And this is just the beginning. The vibration switch: how to trigger instant shifts in your reality. There comes a moment in every person's life when they feel the invisible weight of their own stuckness, when no matter how much effort they put in, nothing seems to move. It's like walking through spiritual quicksand. You try to think positive, you try to meditate, you try to manifest, but everything remains the same. Have you ever felt like that? Like your life is on repeat, cycling through the same patterns, the same emotions, the same limitations? That's not coincidence. That's vibration. And the truth is, your outer reality will never rise above your inner frequency. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. This is why most people fail to create real change. They focus on the surface, on action, on hustle, on discipline, while their internal vibration stays locked in fear, doubt, or scarcity. But what if I told you there's a way to switch that vibration almost instantly? A way to flip the entire frequency of your being in a moment so powerful, your entire external life begins to shift in response. That's what I call the vibration switch. And once you learn how to flip it, you'll never look at reality the same way again. So let's go deeper. The first key to triggering a vibration switch is radical emotional honesty. Sounds simple, but most people lie to themselves every single day. They pretend they're okay when they're not. They suppress instead of express. They wear a mask to keep others comfortable. But energy doesn't lie. Your body stores every unspoken truth, every unfelt emotion, every unhealed wound. And that stuck energy becomes your frequency. So here's the truth: you cannot raise your vibration while living in emotional denial. I learned this in one of the most unexpected ways. I was filming a challenge in a remote monastery where I had committed to 48 hours of uninterrupted meditation. No distractions, no speaking, just me and my mind. And let me tell you, nothing reveals your truth faster than stillness. Within hours, buried grief began to rise. Old memories, regret, shame I didn't even know I was still carrying. I wanted to escape it, but I didn't. I stayed. I felt it all. I cried until my body shook. And then something miraculous happened. The pain dissolved. Not because I fixed it, but because I faced it. And in that moment, my entire vibration shifted. I felt light, clear, empty, but in the most divine way. Like I had made room for something greater. So I ask you now, what emotion have you been avoiding that's secretly running your life? The second trigger for flipping your vibration is frequency immersion. If your energy is like a tuning fork, then the environment you're in is the orchestra. You cannot expect to feel peaceful if you live in chaos. You can't expect to feel abundant if you're constantly surrounded by lack. Your vibration is shaped by what you consume physically, mentally, emotionally. And I'm not just talking about food. I'm talking about the content you watch, the conversations you have, the music you listen to, the spaces you spend time in. I challenge you, just for 3 days, curate your entire environment to match the vibration you want to live in. Want to feel love? Immerse in music, art, and stories that overflow with love. Want to feel powerful? Surround yourself with people who embody strength and truth. Want to feel divine? Meditate in nature. Read sacred texts. Light incense. Create a temple out of your bedroom. Your energy is a sponge. What you soak in is what you become. And finally, the most potent vibration switch of all solvable decisions. You see, most choices we make are based on fear or comfort. We choose the safe path, the familiar relationship, the job that pays but doesn't fulfill. And with every choice made from fear, you lower your vibration. But when you make a decision from your soul, even when it terrifies you, especially when it terrifies you, you ignite a spiritual explosion inside you. You tell the universe, I'm ready. And reality begins to bend to match that courage. I once had to walk away from a massive brand deal because it didn't align with my truth. On paper, it was perfect money, exposure, security. But my soul whispered no, and I listened. Walking away felt like jumping into the dark. But days later, something wild happened. A new opportunity came, incredible, aligned, and 3 times as impactful. That's how vibration works. When you align with your soul, the universe rearranges itself around your decision. So here's your deep question for today. What decision are you avoiding because it would require you to finally become who you truly are? When you feel stuck, don't ask, what should I do? Ask instead, what frequency am I living in right now? Because your life is not a result of your actions, but of your vibration. And the moment you choose honesty, immersion, and soul alignment, you flip the switch. You become the cause, not the effect. You stop chasing energy and start radiating it. And remember, this isn't about being high vibe all the time. It's about choosing truth over illusion, choosing alignment over approval, choosing presence over performance. When you do that, your vibration becomes untouchable. and your life begins to mirror the magnificence of your soul. The hidden gatekeepers, energetic blocks that keep you small, and how to shatter them forever. You can meditate all day, say affirmations until your voice cracks, and visualize your dream life with crystal clarity, but none of it will work if you don't deal with the silent saboteurs hiding deep within your energetic field. These are the hidden gatekeepers. They don't wear scary masks or shout loudly. No, they're subtle, quiet, and sly. They live in your nervous system, your subconscious, your energetic body. And their job? To keep you safe but small. To keep you surviving but never truly thriving. If you've ever wondered why your vibration rises temporarily but always seems to crash back down, this is why. You're hitting an invisible ceiling, and it's time to break through. Let's be clear. These energetic blocks are not your enemies. They're guardians created by younger versions of you. Versions that were hurt, rejected, abandoned, or made to feel unworthy. Their job was to protect you from danger. But now, they're protecting you from your own expansion. They're the reason you sabotage love right when it gets good. The reason you procrastinate the thing you know could change your life. The reason you feel drained, not because you're not doing enough, but because you're resisting the very thing your soul came here to do. So, let me ask you this. What if the part of you that's holding you back actually thinks it's saving your life? Understanding this changes everything. The first hidden gatekeeper is energetic memory. These are the emotional imprints left from past experiences, especially the ones you didn't fully process. Every heartbreak, betrayal, failure, or trauma leaves a residue unless you consciously transmute it. That residue becomes a filter. You don't see reality as it is, you see it as you are, through paint-colored glasses. So when life presents you with a new opportunity, your body remembers the old wound. And it says, nope, we've seen this before. Stay small, stay safe. I remember a time I was offered a massive collaboration, global reach, a dream project. But as the date approached, I started getting this strange anxiety. Not a logical fear, something deeper. My body felt heavy. I wanted to cancel. And when I looked within, I found the memory of a time I had failed publicly years ago. That memory was still alive inside me. It had planted a belief: when you shine, you fall. That belief was energy, and that energy was blocking me. I didn't need more courage, I needed to clear the residue. So I did the work. I sat in meditation with that younger version of myself. I let him cry. I told him he was safe now, that we weren't going to abandon him. And just like that, the block dissolved. The next day, the anxiety was gone. I showed up. I crushed the collaboration. And the reach? It changed my career. You see, you don't need to fight your blocks. You need to listen to them, honor them, and then release them. The second gatekeeper is identity attachment. This one's sneaky. It's not about what happened to you. It's about who you think you are. Your ego creates a story about yourself. I'm shy. I'm not good with money. I'm not spiritual enough. I'm always anxious. And that story becomes your prison. Even if you want to grow, you can't, because growth would threaten the identity you've clung to for years. But who would you be without that story? That's the terrifying part, isn't it? Because most people would rather stay miserable in a familiar identity than risk the unknown of expansion. But here's the truth: your soul didn't come here to stay the same. It came here to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. So try this. Write down every I am statement you've been living by. Then ask yourself, is this identity feeding my soul or feeding my fear? If it's the latter, let it go. Donate it. Burn it in a ritual. Speak a new truth into existence, because shifting your identity shifts your vibration instantly. And the third gatekeeper? Possibly the most powerful, energetic contracts. These are unconscious agreements you've made, often inherited from family, culture, or past lives. Contracts like, I must stay small so others feel comfortable. If I succeed, I'll be alone. Being spiritual means being broke. These are not just beliefs. They're energetic vows. And until you revoke them, they run your life from the shadows. I once worked with a healer who looked me in the eyes and said, "You've made a contract to never outshine your father." It hit me like lightning. She was right. I had dimmed my light for years, subconsciously afraid that success would create distance. That contract wasn't logical, it was energetic. And once I revoked it, my growth exploded. I could finally rise without guilt. You can do this too. Sit in silence. Ask your higher self, what contracts am I still living under that no longer serve me? Listen. Trust what comes. Then speak these words out loud. I revoke any contract, vow, or agreement that keeps me limited, small, or in fear. I am free now. I am ready to rise. These hidden gatekeepers are not your enemies, they're your tests. They ask you, are you really ready for the next level? Or are you just saying you are? And your answer is not in your words, it's in your vibration. When you dismantle these energetic blocks, you don't just raise your frequency, you liberate it. You become a conduit for grace, a vessel for power, a mirror for truth. You walk differently. You speak differently. People feel your presence before you even enter a room. Because now, your energy isn't fighting itself. It's whole, aligned, unstoppable. And that's when life begins to respond in ways that feel like magic, but it's not magic. It's just you, finally unblocked, finally unleashed. The frequency of miracles becoming a living magnet for energy, synchronicity, and transformation. There is a frequency so high, so pure, that when you tap into it, reality itself begins to bend. It's not about luck. It's not about hustle. It's not even about being spiritual enough. It's about alignment. When you operate at this level, life stops being a struggle and starts becoming a dance. Opportunities don't need to be chased, they find you. The right people appear. Answers drop into your mind without warning. Time bends, synchronicities multiply, and you begin to realize life has always wanted to bless you. You were just vibrating too low to receive it. This is the frequency of miracles. And it's not reserved for the chosen few. It's available to all of us the moment we remember who we are. So how do we become a living magnet for this kind of energy? It begins with devotion to alignment, not perfection, not performance, alignment. Ask yourself in every moment, is what I'm thinking, saying, doing, and feeling in harmony with my soul? When the answer is yes, you become a tuning fork for the divine. Your energy becomes so coherent that the universe can't help but reflect it back to you in the form of synchronicity, abundance, love, and clarity. But here's the secret. Alignment doesn't always feel comfortable. Sometimes it feels like walking away from things you once begged for. Sometimes it feels like trusting the void, like saying no when everyone expects you to say yes, like choosing rest when the world glorifies grind. But in that discomfort lies your power, because every time you choose truth over conformity, you raise your vibration. The second key is relational resonance. Your relationships are either charging your frequency or draining it. There is no neutral. So ask yourself who in your life makes your soul feel bigger, who makes you shrink, who sees your light and celebrates it, and who pretends not to notice it so they don't have to confront their own dimness. Miracles flow through connection, but not just any connection, authentic, soul-aligned resonance. When two or more people come together in truth, intention, and love, the energy multiplies. Ideas come. Healing happens. Time disappears. That's why the right friendships, mentors, and soul family aren't just nice to have, their spiritual technology. They amplify your frequency. So if you want to accelerate your vibration, upgrade your circle, Release the relationships that feel heavy, obligatory, or out of alignment. Bless them. Thank them. But don't carry them. Because when you make space, the right ones arrive. Always. And finally, the most powerful activator of the miracle frequency, embodied gratitude. Not the kind where you write 5 things in a journal and forget about them. I'm talking about living in gratitude as a state of being. Waking up and feeling the miracle in your breath. Looking at your hands and realizing they're portals of creation. Walking outside and seeing not trees, but living, breathing teachers of patience, strength, and surrender. Gratitude is the language of the quantum field. It tells the universe I already have what I need. And when that becomes your dominant vibration, the universe responds with more. More beauty, more blessings, more alignment. Not because you begged for it, but because you became the version of you that receives it. So ask yourself this final question. If I were already vibrating at the highest level of my being, how would I walk through life today? Would you rush? Would you worry? Would you doubt? Or would you smile with quiet confidence, knowing that everything you need is already on its way? This is your invitation, not to chase miracles, but to become one. Not to wait for signs, but to become the kind of person signs are drawn to. The kind of soul that walks into a room and changes the temperature. The kind of being who doesn't just raise their vibration, but lifts the entire world with them. Because when your energy is clear, your heart is open, and your soul is aligned, miracles aren't rare. They're natural. They are your birthright. And now you remember,